Hello and welcome to this tutorial. Today we're going to make a pendant or perhaps some earrings in Adobe Illustrator so that we can cut that out on the laser cutter. We're going to try and make the project a simple one so that we can not find any glitches along the way. So we start a new project. It's going to be very small because we want it to be a quick exercise. So we work in millimeters, and we might start with a canvas that's very small, say 40 to 50 millimeters, to give us a sense of the size, and we're going to make our pendant even smaller than that. So you start with some sort of shape. I'm giving the example of starting with a rectangle. That wouldn't be the nicest of pendant shapes, but you might like to think of another and do some variations on that. And what we want to do, and I struggle with this, but we want to have our red, green, blue type red, RGB red outline, and the way that we do that is we go down to the default swatches. The basic RGB is the way that we arrive at the RGB colors that we want, and we want to get the red, and we want the red to be for the outline with no fill at all. It takes a bit of fiddling around in different parts to do that, and the line thickness needs to be 0.1 or thinner. Anything bigger than 0.1 and it won't interpret it as a cut line at all. So we have to make sure of that either at the very beginning, which is what I'm doing, or later on, so that the laser cutter understands what we're doing. So to change it from a basic rectangle, we could actually modify that in some way. I'm going to add a point at the top, and I'm going to turn it into, say, an arch shape, like an arched window shape. And so I've added a point halfway along the top, and using the direct select tool I can actually adjust that individual point. And likewise I could curve the top two corners, and if I can do it one at a time, but if I actually select them both, either by just dragging around the way that I've done there, or by holding down the shift and clicking on both, we can actually edit them both at the same time and accurately or symmetrically. So we've got the shape of our pendant, and what we also want to do is to have a small hole at the top. Now this is going to allow for a necklace to be threaded through. There could be variations on this. It's good if it's symmetrical. It doesn't have to be, so there are various ways to make it symmetrical. So you keep your eye out for the alignment tools there. And in the middle of your pendant, you can be as creative or as uncreative as you like. This is going to be a quick exercise, and our goal is just to try and make the design simple and interesting. So because they're red cut lines, the pendant will be cut out. The little round hole at the top will be a cut out hole, and any shapes that we draw on using the red will all be cut out shapes, meaning that the pieces will fall out of the middle. And I don't have any real plan or design. I'm just trying different things here, but you could work quite creatively with this. You could also use the pen tool or the pencil tool or the shaper tool to do a much more interesting design than this. But as long as you've got an outline shape, as long as you've got some shapes to fall out of the middle, then we've got a pendant of some sort. And what we then want to do is we want to save it. Please make sure that you put your name and pendant as the name, and originally I'd save it to the desktop, but then we want to save it to the Design Center folder so that it can be immediately opened with the laser cutter driver, and it can be sent to the laser cutter for production. So that's about it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoy doing that, and good luck.